Okay, part 3. How many more dead miners do we need to have before we wake up and realize what exactly the hell we are doing? We don't need these coal miners. We don't need these offshore oil drills. We don't need oil out of the Middle East to have all these wars. And when they talk about, competition in the marketplace, it's a load of crap, competition. Because what it is code words for war. War is competition. What these politicians need to start talking about is cooperation. And believe you me, energy is key. It's about power and control. They don't want you to be free. They want you to be free to do as they tell you to do. And my message will resonate through the people because it's common sense. And it promotes freedom. If you had a vehicle that you didn't have to stop and fill up every few miles, say you had a vehicle that you could drive back and forth across the whole country, does that give you more freedom? Of course it does. Of course it gives you more freedom. The energy policy that's in place today, with gasoline stations everywhere, it is to keep you on a short leash. A very short leash. Does anybody wonder why we haven't risen miles per gallon in vehicles for 40 years, 50 years, however many years? And then when they finally do say, oh, we're going to increase the fuel mileage, they increase it by what, 5 miles, 10 miles, some stupid amount? That doesn't really matter because, you know what? There's more traffic on the highways, so most of the time, all of those numbers are bullshit anyways. Yeah, I mean, they're running they're doing these tests for miles per gallon on these little tracks, or they have the cars on these the wheels, where it gives like barely any friction. It's a brand new car. It's nice and oiled up, and all those numbers go right out the window when you're stuck in rush hour traffic. It's common sense that the energy policy is not working for you. It's common sense that the tax policy is not working for the people. All of these tax policies are being used against the people. And it's very funny and ironic that we have money for everything under the sun except for these common sense things. Let's talk about the internet, for example. Why is everybody paying individually for internet? Every town could have a hi-fi wireless broadband for every citizen in that community. And people will say, oh no, we couldn't do that, we can't do that. Well, why not? We have enough money to build parks and the streets and the street lights and all of the wires going across all the roads. We have plenty of money for all that, but for common sense things that just make sense, oh no, we don't have any money for those type of things. No. And all make no mistake, all of these communication satellites up there for all these Verizon and Sprint and all these things, all of those were bought and paid for by taxpayers. Okay? We paid for these things time and time again. I understand the premise of taxes. You pay into a pool, and you're supposed to get some sort of benefit out of it. This money is not supposed to be used against the people like it is today. Think of the amount of money that goes into all of these wasted funds. And it's time for it to end. It's time to have some common sense and move America forward. There's no reason why every home, every car couldn't be self-sustained with its own energy source. There's no reason whatsoever. And you want to talk about, today in the news, we have Goldman Sachs getting sued by the SEC. Well, whoop-de-freaking-do. You know, this is like a slap on the wrist. And it's after the fact. The damage has already been done. We know the game that they're playing. And we know that the media is in bed with the politicians. We know the game that they're playing. And it's coming to an end. Because once you know their playbook, you can anticipate their next move. And you can, once they give you their phony explanations and their stupid talking points, call them on it. We could call them on these stupid, all of this stupid nonsense. When Obama says we need another nuclear power plant, say why. Why don't we do it this other way, where it doesn't have to have all of this cost and all of this waste? Hydrogen and fuel cells work. And if we were serious about them, we could have had every house, every car using them decades ago. Decades ago. And we always come up with these excuses of, oh no, it would cost too much. It would just cost too much. Yeah, we can't change our old ways because it would cost too much. And today, in 2010, it could be nothing further from the truth. The way that we're doing it currently costs too much. And is ridiculous. And my generation isn't going to put up with it. We're not going to be like previous generations that would become complacent with the status quo. Because this boils down to freedom, individuality. Let's end the Federal Reserve. Let's end this goddamn drug war. All these people want to talk about the free markets. Where are the free markets? If you don't get an opportunity to choose, then there is no free market. This is a do as you tell us to do mentality, and that is destined to fail. Freedom is the way.